Based off like what I honestly think, like there's a lot of like I don't know, like psychotoxin users, fucking let's say, in a hypnagogy sense today. And I just feel like hypnagogy actually helps me reason about reality because it helps me like to have a model of reality that is actually like, oh hold on, hypnagogy exists, maybe hypnosis maybe exists, like just in case hypnagogy, what the fuck am I talking about hypnagogy? So it's like it helps me to reason about things, and it's like it's like a overlay, like a way to leverage knowledge and epistemology, like ontology. I keep calling it a holographic like ontology, like chamber or something like that. That you can just like reason about in terms of like it's a domain, and you can reason within the bounds of that domain. In that way, it's like a system, and like it's like a way to contextualize ontology and bound it physically in a real sense, like literally in essence, and that gives rise to dynamics, and like things can be present in that system. And so if you're actually using IT to organize file systems and like game objects within those files systems, like within folders and the hierarchy structure to reflect the game world that you're developing, it's like you're actually in your mind, your muscle memory has actually done that. So if you think about like New Proxima where we just spawned, if you can actually remember a time you were doing something you love doing, that's actually like a resource you have in your brain, and it's like you can draw from that, and that's how you keep memory strong. I feel like, and you want to enjoy that, and that's actually a part of your life experience. So it's like probably always present, really, and it's like appreciating that is like accessing that memory location, and it's like refreshing that memory, and it's like re-energizing it. And I feel like the happier you are, the more memories you re-energize, and it's like frequently, and it's like a flowing cascading currency thing. Like, just like if you look, scan the environment, the horizon in front of you, just the natural saccades that the lines your eyes take, like whatever pathing your eyes take, geometrically, that's interesting. You can probably break it down into like data points or something like that. And like if you think about biorhythms and just rhythm in general, it's interesting to think that if you associate the feeling tone, like the immediate feeling you have in your body in terms of feelings, you can kind of like use emotion to realize maybe that emotion is more like an electrical currency, and it's more like an expression of the feeling tone, and it's a way to activate your mind to keep it tilling what it has available to it in terms of resources. And if you think about a stagnant system, it's not actually performing its functionality. Like if it was an alive organism, say it's not metabolizing correctly or like adequately or optimally, it'd be like pretty lethargic or like hibernating or something like that in a down state. So for optimality, it has to be like synced up with that pleasure of feeling tone, which is associated with being alive for a respiratory organism, say like breathing. And that is actually a pleasurable experience. That's why so many practitioners of like mystic traditions and things talk about breathing being so essential and vital to their practices. It allows for optimal oxygenation of the bloodstream and optimal flowing, plus functioning, therefore, I believe. And linguistics relates to the way you're, like what I was saying, how if you scan the horizon, your eyes carry a certain line. Linguistics can sort of like overlay that in an augmentative way, and it can allow the way your brain flows and associates with ontology and epistemology, even in a schematic conceptual way. I'm talking more about like in a phonetic gravitational based way in terms of like the physicality of language, because I actually posit that the vibrational physicality of language is actually something that is present in reality, and it's something like a signal in terms of like an attractor or something in a system, or maybe the reverse, something that emits like a gravitational field. Like I just feel like stars are likely, like maybe stars are emitting frequencies that are detectable here, and linguistics can resonate with that a very long distance to relocalize it and to like kind of like node network, re-energize, refresh, and harmonize locality in terms of the energy expressed from that distant star, because I just feel like resonance and humming is like that. Like, to put it simply. So it's kind of like, well, that kind of explains that phenomenology. And just like in terms of like, I want to write this log up soon. I just feel like in terms of scientific reasoning and things, I feel like it makes sense that you can only really theorize about what is. And when you think about behavior, like say you're at a fat party last night and you met an awesome chick and you had an awesome time with her, and you're thinking like, how the fuck did that happen? Like, you can theorize about that, you can theorize about why that happened. It's just like the fact that it actually happened, like that was you acting experimentally, behaviorally, and that's like evident even in children playing or in animals playing, like us playing as well. We are just expressing and experimenting within controlled environments in safe ways, like in ways that are secure because of luxury and comfort and things like that. So I feel like essentially it makes sense to perceive things in a way, again, that is associated directly with your immediate feeling. I call it the feeling tone of your experience of the now, like the feeling tone of your life experience right now, and to orient around that, plus to relate to that and like guide it intentionally with auto hypnosis. And positive auto suggestions are essentially like the syntax for that, the linguistic kind of mode and expression in terms of the ways you can utilize language to guide your mind. Like you are a conscious biomech pilot, consciously piloting a biomech, and like the control interface is like a lucid dream immersion interface, and you control it via linguistics again and the syntax of auto suggestion, positive auto suggestion, and it's like auto hypnosis. So I feel like that's really useful, and that's all like kind of derived from hypnotherapy, and like it's like an Orbekian light ontology perhaps, and it's like lucid dream informed and psychedelic informed.